In this video, we're going to install VirtualBox. I'm doing this on a Linux system, Ubuntu Linux to be specific. If I cat out the contents of the etc os-release file, you will see that I am running Ubuntu 24.04.2 LTS.
Welcome to Fresh Forensics, your go-to destination for everything Linux.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel.
This should work the same way for most of our, if not all, of our Debian-based Linux distributions and even other Linux distributions. This is a pretty standard install process. If you're not familiar with VirtualBox, VirtualBox is a cross-platform virtualization application. I am taking this straight from the docs for VirtualBox. It allows you to extend the capabilities of your existing computer so that you can run multiple operating systems inside of multiple virtual machines or VMs at the same time. So for an example, you can run Windows and Linux on your Mac, or you can run a Windows server on your Linux server. You can run Linux on Linux. So a lot of things that you can do with this. As with everything on Linux, there are multiple ways to do this. I'm keeping it very simple. I'm going to use the apt repositories. So I can do an apt search on VirtualBox. We'll get many different hits that come back. But the package that I'm interested in installing is simply titled VirtualBox. If I do an apt info on that, we'll get back, amongst other things, a description. This comes with all the base binaries. This is probably the simplest way to install this. It does say that either VirtualBox DKMS or the VirtualBox source package is also required in order to compile the kernel modules needed for VirtualBox. A graphical user interface for VirtualBox is provided by the package VirtualBox-Qt. Now we can actually do an apt info on that because that is considered a separate package. And I do want to install that. I'm going to take a guess and say it's going to install that automatically. So I'm going to try that first, and if that fails, then we'll just install it manually. This is a brand new installation of Ubuntu, so the only thing that I have done is updated the repositories, and I did an upgrade. So I did an update and an upgrade, and that's it. So if we run into any issues, we will work through them. So I'm going to run the command sudo apt install VirtualBox and hit enter. I'm going to do a Y for yes to continue. And there we go. That was less than a minute for the entire installation process. You see we have absolutely no errors. Once again, this is a brand new installation. In fact, it's so brand new, I don't even have curl installed yet. That's how brand new it is. But this goes to show you, you don't need to follow complicated tutorials. It literally is that easy, especially with the latest version of VirtualBox. They've really advanced the power and ease of use of VirtualBox. So now if I run the command which VirtualBox, you will see that it is installed. I should be able to pull up a help menu now. So I'll run VirtualBox with -- help, and that's all we get from that. Probably need to run a different command. So we have the VirtualBox VM command. Let me do that with -- help, and there we go. There's our help menu that I was looking for. So if you want to start VMs from the command line, this is how you would do that. I'm not looking to do that in this video, so I'm going to check to see if I have an icon for this. And I do have an icon. It's on my other screen, so you're not going to see that, but I'm going to go ahead and start it up by clicking on the icon. And this is the first thing that I am presented with. This is the Oracle VM VirtualBox Manager. Now, the fact that I am seeing this to me insinuates that it must have installed that other package, the VirtualBox-Qt package, because we are seeing a GUI on the screen. In fact, I'm curious, so let me go ahead and do a search, an APT search for VirtualBox-Qt. And now what you see is that VirtualBox is installed. See over here on the right, it says installed, and likewise VirtualBox-Qt is also installed. So it was automatically installed. And that is why we are seeing the graphical user interface. Now, before I go any further with this, there is one very important thing that we need to do, and that is dealing with the VirtualBox users group, or the VBox users group. Once again, I'm referring to the documentation up here underneath the VBox users group. The Linux installers create the system user group VBox users during installation. Any system user who is going to use USB devices from Oracle VirtualBox guests must be a member of that group. A user can be made a member of the group VBox users either by using the desktop user and group tools, or with the following command, and I'm going to do it by running the command. So I am literally going to copy that command from the docs, and as it said, a group called VBox users should have now been created. So we can actually verify that. I'll cat out the contents of Etsy group, and at the very bottom, our latest group that was added is in fact VBox users. Now I'm pasting that command in. The only thing that we need to change is going to be the username. So you're going to replace the word username with the actual username on your system. So you can see that for my system, the username is fresh. So I'm going to go ahead and type fresh and hit enter. Okay, so now that we have added the user to that newly created group for the VirtualBox, we can go ahead and verify that the user has been added to the group by running the groups command followed by the name of the user, which in this case is fresh. And you see that at the very end we have the VBox users group. Okay, so now that that has been done, let's go back over to the VirtualBox manager. I want to test it out to make sure that it is working. So the best way to do that is going to be to go ahead and create a virtual machine. Though I am using Ubuntu, I'm going to go ahead and grab another image for Ubuntu, and I'm going to use that to test out whether this is working correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and type in Ubuntu. I think it's ubuntu.com, I can't remember. So yeah, ubuntu.com. Let's go ahead and go over to the web page. I'm going to click on download Ubuntu desktop. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and click on download and download this image, which is essentially the same image that I'm running on my machine. And I will meet you back here when that has finished. Alright, so the download of our Ubuntu desktop image has completed. It's almost 6 gigabytes in size. That's going to be in my downloads directory. So if I do an ls-lh on downloads followed by the name of the image, there it is. That's going to be important because in a minute we're going to have to know where it's located so that we can tell the VirtualBox manager where to find it so they can actually boot from it. So let's go back over to the GUI. I'm going to actually just maximize this. Alright, so I'm going to click on New. I'm going to give the virtual machine a name. I'll just call it Ubuntu VM. It's going to create a folder to store the virtual machines inside of. Right here we need to select the ISO image. Once again, that is inside of the downloads directory for me, and there's the image. It's very important because it needs to know where to find this image. It will not be able to boot from it if it doesn't know where it's located. I'll click on Next, and this is one of the many new additions to this latest version of VirtualBox. So from this screen right here, we can go ahead and begin to actually configure VirtualBox. We can configure this VM that we are about to create. So the default name that it will try to give the user is going to be VBox user. I'm just going to go ahead and change that, and I'm going to give it the username of Fresh, and create a password right here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to assign it a temporary password. Over here on the right hand side, here is the host name. You see that I actually misspelled Ubuntu, which is pretty bad. So let me go ahead and change that. There we go. Alright, so we're going to click on Next. At this point, this is going to be dependent on your system's resources, how much memory you have to allocate, how many cores you have on your system, etc. and so forth. So I have more than 20 CPUs, so I can afford to give this virtual machine a large amount. I'll go ahead and give it 6. And for the base memory, which is essentially your RAM, I'm just going to keep it at 496 for now, and click Next. It's going to try to create a virtual hard disk that is 25 gigabytes in size. This is probably sufficient, especially for this image, but because I have the memory on my hard drive to spare, I'm going to go ahead and actually double that and make it 50. Definitely don't need to do that, but I'm choosing to. And I'll click Next. That should be it. Click Finish. And it automatically opened up this window right here, and it has started the process for us. Click on this X to get rid of that side screen. Now you do get this error. It looks like it airs out. Just let it run. It'll move past that. And here we go. Very simple, very straightforward. That took a matter of minutes to get a whole separate instance of Ubuntu running inside of VirtualBox. Now, of course, from this point, you will have to go through the install process just like you would when normally installing Ubuntu. I'm not going to cover that. It's outside of the scope. I just wanted to verify that VirtualBox was working correctly, and from everything that I see, it is working correctly. Of course, there are things that we could do. There's changes that we can make, such as coming into the settings for this VM, clicking on display, adjusting the video memory, maybe looking at whether a different graphics controller would be more useful. But you have to shut the VM down to make some of these changes. Alright, so that's going to be it. Very simple, very straightforward video. I'm in the middle of switching some things up on my channel, and I'm always trying to create the best, most secure, the safest environment that I can for myself to make these videos for you guys. And with that, sometimes comes change. Sometimes you have to make certain changes, and I'm in the middle of making some very important changes. So my videos might have a different look and feel for now until I figure out exactly what I want to do here. That's going to be it. Hope you guys got something out of this video. As always, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. If you are not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. It is the easiest thing that you can do. Doesn't cost any money, but it definitely helps the algorithm so that I can get my videos to more people. Post a positive comment. Any negative comments will immediately be removed. See you in the next video.
If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Linux, cybersecurity, and hacking content. And as always, keep learning
and stay fresh.
I'll see you in the next video. Fresh Forensics is a way of life, you heard me? Check out the GitHub repo, baby. github.com/DouglasFreshHabian.
Fresh Forensics, baby.